Steve Scott has returned to give us a preview of what is expected to be a great show from Buffalo Theater Ensemble's next production, The Cake. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Diana. It's nice to be here.
Nice to have you. So tell us about The Cake.
Well, The Cake is about, and the story may sound familiar because it echoes stories that have been in the news in the last couple of years. It takes place in a small town in North Carolina, focuses on a woman, Della, who runs a beautiful bakery in this town. A young friend, the daughter of a friend of hers, shows up and is looking for a cake for a wedding. But it turns out that the daughter is engaged to a woman. A black woman, as a matter of fact, and Della, who runs the shop, has very strong religious beliefs and doesn't know if she can
make the cake.
So it's basically a story about that incident, but I think more than that, it's a story about how we, if we differ in opinion, and there are very definite differences of opinion here, how we can treat each other with respect,
right,
rather than condemning. I'm not going to tell you the outcome, but basically each woman holds on to her beliefs and ideals, but it ends in a kind of rapprochement. They love each other, and that love transcends their political divisions. I think it's a very inspiring play. I think it's a very funny play. But I think it's an important play for right now, when we don't seem to be able to do that.
You know, there's going to be people who say, why are we doing this play?
Exactly.
Why would we choose this play? And you know, Buffalo Theater Ensemble chooses their season. And when they presented what they were doing to me, I said, you're going to be challenged. Mm-hmm. Be prepared for this.
Oh, yeah.
And Connie and I talked about it. And what I love about the show is that it doesn't make anybody look dumb or bad or mean or this or that. You really like both of the women in the show.
Yes.
You understand both of the women.
You understand them, and that's the important thing. We don't take time to understand each other.
But it happens in our families,
yes.
right?
Oh my God.
This happens with the people we work with, our families, our friends, where sometimes you're like, I can't believe you believe that.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't believe you believe that. But you know, what are we going to not talk to half the world?
Exactly.
That's not an option.
No,
We've got to find a way to respect each other, have a civil discourse, and say, you do your thing, I'll do my thing.
Right, right. And the fact is, gay marriage is legal.
Exactly.
But it is not necessarily respected by people who don't condone that. But that aside, the whole demonization, the whole lack of empathy, the lack of understanding, that we can't just disagree now. We have to kind of condemn the people that we don't agree with.
Right.
And I think that's true whatever side you're on, unfortunately. And that is what leads to the decay of our society and our world. We can't coexist that way.
No. And I like that this gives people an example of like, okay, you know, here's the situation. How would you handle it?
Right.
What would you do? I like a play that makes you think like, and there'll be some people who would say like, well, I'd absolutely never make the cake. And there'll be people like, I'd make the cake, who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But I think it makes you think.
Exactly. And no matter whose side you end up agreeing with more, I think you understand where everybody is coming from and what the real issues are, which are not necessarily political issues, but they're human issues. And we have to understand that. Yeah.
Do you have any plans to have talks after the shows to address concerns or questions or?
Yes, I think talkbacks are being, I think there are regular talkbacks, and I'm not sure exactly when they are, because usually when the show opens,
I think they're Sunday nights is what they're planning.
Sunday nights, yeah. And I think there are going to be guest speakers to talk about the issues with the audience, so that everybody can get a fuller understanding about what all of this is really about, and give people a chance to air their opinions, whatever side they're on, but again, to begin a discourse with each other, which I think is incredibly valuable.
Just to open the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
A conversation doesn't happen now. Yelling happens, and that doesn't get us.
Or typing on Facebook
or
behind a screen.
Yes.
Where I think, you know, we all have people in our lives who we love very much. And I think it's when a person in your life who you've grown up with or that you have this deep relationship with all of a sudden says, I think you're so wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
I think sometimes we hear them differently than we'd hear somebody on Facebook or something, right? You have an empathy. And I think that's what we have to find is that empathy for each other and that understanding. Yeah. And that's what I like about this opportunity. I like the fact that we're presenting a difficult conversation and subject, and we're not saying do this or do this.
No, there are no
The play
rules.
doesn't do that.
Yeah, and there is no prescription at the end. Okay, now you should go. It's not an activist piece where it asks you to go out and march or demonstrate or anything like that. It asks you to listen and to understand. And I think that's the best thing theater can do right now, is to get us to really understand what it is to be in somebody else's shoes. And even if that doesn't necessarily change your opinion, it can change your humanity in terms of how you deal with it. Or your approach. Yeah, right? Exactly. You know, we have to keep talking to each other, and we can't just run away and hide behind our own absolutism. We have to understand what's going on.
And I think the issue comes in when certain people say, "But this is who I am, and I believe this, and I'm not willing to, you know, I can't change who I am."
And you can
on both sides.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, on both sides. Yeah,
religious,
definitely.
I'm religious, and I'm not going to go to hell over this. A,
Right.
or B. This is who I am. I'm gay. I can't change that.
Exactly.
So you've got these two people who are like, I can't change. And I don't think anybody has to change.
You don't have to change. You have to understand.
But you have to understand or respect or...
Exactly.
Or...
we're all human beings.
Exactly.
We all have the same...
We have to find this common ground.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to find a place.
Exactly.
There's got to be a place. There's got to be a place.
And we've been able to do that throughout modern history. We can certainly be able to do that now. We should be.
True.
You know.
So is the baker... She's not her mother, but she's like a mother figure,
She's like
right?
a mother figure, yeah.
So that's what makes this so hard, because she loves her so much.
Exactly. And I'm glad it takes place in a small town in the South, because there is a certain faction that thinks small towns in the South are filled with idiots. This woman is not an idiot.
That's awesome.
She is smart, she is ambitious, she's very good at what she does, and she loves people, and she loves what she does. She's filled with love. But there are bounds. I mean, her religion, which she believes in deeply, constrains her from agreeing with certain things, which I can completely see. And by the same token, the young woman is obviously disappointed in the conflict that they're having and has trouble coming to terms with it, but eventually comes to understand this woman's point of view. So there is understanding that happens when you invest in that, when you honor that, rather than just screaming,
shutting the door, or condemning, as you said.
Right.
How many people are in the show?
4.
And anybody we know in it?
Well, Connie is in it.
Connie Kennedy-Howard is the artistic director.
Yes. And I've worked with Connie before. She's a wonderful actress, which people don't always remember because she's behind the scenes so much.
Right.
But she's playing the baker, and she's going to be fantastic. And then 3 other actors whose names I don't remember right now.
That's okay.
From the company are part of this, and I've seen tapes of them, and I've read their resumes. They're all wonderful actors. I think it's going to be a great cast.
Is this a unit set or several scenes, or?
It's several scenes, but but it's a unit set that kind of moves back and forth. So it moves very gracefully. But the main setting is the bakery shop, which is going to be lovely. And we're now talking about what kinds of cakes there are on display and what kinds of cakes we might want to have at rehearsal, just to, you know.
That's right. You have to get into the mood. I think you need cakes, pies, donuts.
Yeah,
right?
I only do plays with food in them now.
Well, it's method acting.
Exactly. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
We should get a bakery to sponsor cake after the show.
We've been talking about that. I talked about that with Connie. Maybe we will.
Well, you know, when you think about cake, now I'm like, I want a cake. I want a piece of cake.
I know.
We should have had cake.
Let's
I
end
should have
this
thought
and
through
let's go
this.
somewhere.
Let's do it. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, Diane.
I'm so glad that you are leading this because I think you're going to do it with sensitivity, and that's all you can ask.
Well,
so thank you, and all the best.
Much. Thanks.
Be sure to get your tickets for Buffalo Theater Ensemble's The Cake, running January 30th through March 1st. For tickets or more information, please visit atthemac.org or call the box office at 630-942-4000. If you're still looking for holiday gifts, we have some great ideas. Get your tickets for these great shows coming soon to the MAC. Colin Mokry of Whose Line Is It Anyway presents Hip Prov on January 12th. Don't miss the New Philharmonic Orchestra's production of the classic operetta The Merry Widow, January 24th through the 26th. Be sure to come see the Hot Club of Cowtown on February 7th. Time tickets are now on sale for Frida Kahlo 2020, an exhibition experience coming June 1st to the Cleve Carney Museum of Art and the Mackinac Art Center at College of DuPage. Experience 26 original artworks on loan from the Dolores Olmedo Museum, more than 100 photographs of Kahlo's life, a historical timeline, a poetry garden designed by the visionaries at Ball Horticulture, a family-friendly children's area, and more. For more information, visit frida2020.org or call the box office at 630-942-4000.